All right, so in front of you, go ahead and set your nameplates up so I can start getting to know your names and your peers can remember who we are. And for each group, I will assign you a section. And each section, you're going to take the time to go through this with your group, and you're going to present it to the rest of the class. So I'm not going to read this to you because that's boring. But you'll get to know one section pretty well, and you're going to share that with us in an informal presentation. And at the same time, you will introduce yourselves to us during this introduction and share with us your Lego project. So starting off with this group, I'll do the welcome section. You're going to do the seek help, use our services, and textbook. This group, technology and presentation policies. This one's a big one. Overview of assignments and grades. You'll do scholarly research and references along with quizzes. You have kind of a medium and a big and a small section. And this group over here will review learning environments and conduct. So before you begin, we'll go ahead and share with you this first part, the welcome. So that's me. This just introduces who I am. Where will we have you? Let me see here. We have. You go ahead and get your new class member up to speed on what we're doing here. So this first section just welcomes you to class, and also it lets you know where you can find me and when you can find me. So whenever you see something called office hours, so if you're new to the college life, office hours means that those are good times to drop in on your instructor and ask him or her for help. So that's office hours basically means student hours. So a lot of times we're just waiting for you to come in and see us. We're doing other things, but we hope that you come in and see us during these times. My office is downstairs, V04, which is like the corner of this section. And that office door is typically open unless nobody's in there and then it's locked. So you can drop in on me on those times. And I should be there, maybe except for an exception if I'm sick or I have a mandatory meeting or something like that. But I'm typically there, so I try to protect those times for you. The other thing is next to my office hours, I have this label called Zoom. Does anybody know what Zoom is? What's Zoom?
Like you can sit in on the class basically and watch.
Okay, so
or record.
Yeah, Zoom is a virtual way to get a hold of me. So it's like this right here. So you can look and see me on a screen. You don't have to show your face, but you'll see my face on there. So if you go into our class and click on the link that says Zoom in our class, and I'll show you online with our online format, you should expect to see me there at those times. So Monday, Wednesday from 10 to 11. If you're not on campus, you have a question and you prefer this, you can go ahead and drop in on me at those times. The other thing is I'm pretty easy to get a hold of via Canvas Messenger or email. I do answer messages at one time during the day. In the afternoon, I try to keep it all at once, or I answer all my messages at once. So don't be alarmed if you send me a note sometime over the weekend and you don't hear back from me, because I won't typically respond unless it's an emergency. So be sure that you just email me early or message me early, and then I will get back to you within that time frame. The other thing, you can leave me a message. I'm a little slower about getting back to phone messages, but you're welcome to do that. Now that I've shared with you when I'm available, and a quick welcome to the class, are there any questions? Okay, so go ahead with your group members. I'll give you 5-6 minutes. You can ask me questions during that time, and then I'll lead you into the next section. distracts you, let me know.
No,
No,
but
okay.
we do have a bunch of things. Wait, are we not gonna say no?
Just some.
I'm waiting for it. Yeah, Liz. I don't know if I have I know, right? I have to be a no makeup. You can, you don't know.
I nominate
I'll do that quick, like. Okay, what you're gonna do that they're online and they go to
Are there any questions? Okay, as soon as your group goes through your section, take your phones out and log into Campus. Yeah, you can use your computer if you prefer to use your computer. And they're gonna, they're gonna go in the top. You can move the ones that you're working on. Okay.
Margot and I got that quizzes. Does she have that thing?
Make sure that you can see something like what's on the board. So at first you'll see a home screen. Oh, it's up there. It's in the back of the room. Let me turn this on too. Is anybody struggling with their login? Are you struggling with your login?
Login for what?
The class? Okay, I do have a sign-in sheet coming through. If you struggle with your login, put I want you to sign in, but also put an asterisk next to your name, just so I know if you didn't get through this part, what happened. Okay, now within this, I'm just going to show you a couple of things in here before we start with review of everything that you've talked about. So this is your first page, and it leads you to go to two different areas. One is the syllabus, and the other one, the modules. If you're on your phone, and depending on whether you have an Android or an Apple phone, thank you, you can you may see things just a little bit differently. Here's the sign-in sheet. So under the syllabus, you'll see a quick bio about me. You'll see a video with me and my dog. And then underneath that, you'll see a number of assignments with some due dates. underneath them. And then you'll see a pile of assignments that don't have due dates on that, and that's nothing for you to worry about because they're going to happen during the class period, so you'll know what to do when they happen. The other thing I want you to pay attention to, if you scroll back up to the top of the screen, are what's called the modules. And the modules will correspond to your syllabus. So the modules show that our class is broken down in 3 major assignments. So if we move down this screen, weeks 2 to 6, 7 through 12, and 13 through 17. So our assignments are broken down into 3 major assignments. The first one is an informative assignment. I take you through that step by step. You'll choose a topic that you have a lot of passion for, that's different than everybody else, and that you'd be proud to present to an employer. The second presentation is an extension of your first presentation, and that's persuasive, so you'll carry the same theme, but it's going to be a different way to present this because it's persuasive, and we'll spend a significant amount of time learning persuasive arguments and working with our topics and each other on that. So let's say that you decided to inform us about music, something about music for your informative presentation. On your second presentation, you'd be persuading us something about music. So for example, maybe it's to persuade us to listen to certain types of music when we study. So that would be an example of how you would carry that theme throughout this class. The third presentation is a group presentation. So like with the groups in front of you, you'll be delivering a lesson, this is an informative presentation, to us about something. And I sometimes change that. I don't have a lot of detail about that, but I sometimes change that depending on, let's say, what we've gone through in the class. So sometimes we still need to go through nonverbal communication, so I may have that be one of the topics assigned. Or maybe there's something that's going on, thank you, politically, and it'd be a good idea just to learn a little bit more about it. So to put this together in our class, I may choose, or you may help me choose a topic to introduce to the class. And informative, it isn't a debate or anything like that. It's just so that we learn a little bit more about something. So that's what we have to look forward to. It's a very enjoyable project. Okay, so that's the format of the class. Now we're ready for our informal presentations. Oh, one more thing. As you can see, I video my lectures. I try and video all of them, and what I'll do is I'll have them on a YouTube channel, private YouTube channel for us. So if something happens, maybe you were distracted during class and you need to go back and look through a lesson again, that's available to you. Or if something unforeseeable happens, maybe it's a snow day, it's snowy, and you couldn't get there, but class was still going, you'll have access to a video. So you'll be able to still get the information that you need as if you were right here. Okay, shall we begin? Okay, so 3 parts. For your group, I'd like you to introduce yourself. So that's the first one. So everybody in the group should first introduce themselves. The second part is you summarize the part of the syllabus that I asked you to. And last but not least, you're going to showcase your Lego project. Does that make sense? Anybody need to shake out any jitters? No, we're all in this together. We'll get through this.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So when we present, you said we're going to be in our groups, just presenting to our group or in front of the whole class?
To the class. So you'll
Okay.
turn to the class and say,
Okay.
hi, I'm Courtney. And, and then the rest of you will present, will let us know who you are.
Right, even in future presentations?
Yes.
That's good. Okay.
Yep, thank you for clarifying that. Okay, are we ready? Is this group ready? No, they're not ready. They're gonna do it anyway. They're gonna do great. I'll course correct. So if there's something that isn't right or you didn't understand,
You don't want us to like read it out either.
to summarize it for us. Okay, let's encourage this group.
Oh, is that like now?
Okay, we'll have you all stand up and present to us. You have 2 sections.
Okay. My name's Victoria Gonzalez.
Olive.
Timmer.
Do. That's us. And ours was seek help and use our services. It's just CAPS counseling and assistant programs for SCC students. Says you get 15 free individuals and 10 group sessions for each academic year.
That's for the CAPS counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have transitions lab and disability services or recent new accommodations.
And then the textbooks in Canvas is also free of charge.
I don't think that. Oh, student success, we need encouragement to reach your goals or you're still unsure of your next step. There's a number and a website to go to. Oh, and our thing we built, I don't know what to call it, just like a little skyscraper thing, we just put all our stuff together.
The skyscraper. Ooh, and you have something on the top of it. What's on the top?
Like a little windmill thing.
They put a windmill on the top of it. Okay, thank you, group, for taking the time to go through that. This is a really important section because
Morgan's got it, she's highlighting.
you will, at some time in your college career, run into issues, and we just need a little extra help. It's the most common thing in the world to struggle in college, so our college has done a really good job in setting up certain things in order to help you through those moments. I certainly know that I really struggled at certain times where I didn't know why I was there, I didn't want to do it. I stopped for a while, I went back, and that's the most normal thing in the world. So our jobs, we have people in place to help us through those really rough moments. The resources are here, they're available to you for free because you've already paid for it. They've been working on grants to have people actually help us with that. So use them, they're here for you. Don't hesitate, and I commonly recommend this. You didn't have textbook, right?
Yeah, he said textbook.
Okay, the textbook. The textbook is in our class. I just need to let you know one more thing about the textbook. I have audio recordings in here. I've been working on this for a long time where I'll try and put in audio recordings. But what's happened is I can't put them all in there because I'm capping out the amount of resources I can add in because they take up so much memory. So I'll be changing that so that it's going to be a link instead, so I have to take that off-site of Canvas. But for now, we have chapter 1 that's audio recorded. You can see about how long each of these take.
So we don't have to go get a book for?
This is the book.
Okay.
This is the book. We have the PDF file, so each chapter is broken down in here. And then I've been working on audio recordings for you. So if you don't like to read or if it's just easier for you to listen, I have some of those chapters complete for you. Oh, it's on the book. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next step.
My name's Britta. Malia. I'm Felicity.
I'm Courtney.
We have technology and presentation policies. Basically, any homework that's going to be required for Dr. T, you're going to need Microsoft Word for. So download it on your computer and save. Just prepare for things to black out on you.
And she doesn't accept email homework, it all has to be turned in on Canvas. And there's tutorials provided on Canvas if you need it. And she also provides personalized feedback on Canvas.
And with her presentation policies, with her experience on presentation days, students are more likely not to be here, what other excuses are. And then speeches are mandatory. Speech instructors will fail students if they do not complete the speeches. One class period prior to the speech due dates, the class determines the speech order. So if you're not here, basically, you're probably gonna go first.
There's a 10% deduction if it's 1 to 2 days late, a 15% 3 to 5 days late, and after a week, it's just not accepted. And if you don't deliver your presentation from your outline, you should use 4x6 or 5x8 note cards. And if you don't present on your due date, you can gather an audience and video your presentation. Do you want me to read how many adults it should be?
You could just say 8.
Okay. And then there needs to be 8 adults, and they have to be over 18 for you to use them. And they have to state that they're 18 in the video when you record. That's all. And this is our Lego creation. We just made a lawnmower with our long grass and our swimming pool.
I'm gonna go ahead and get a video of that. Here, let me get yours real quick. You wanna turn it to the side? Thank you. Oh, you started to take it apart. Right, to be sure.
Summertime.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have, which group is next? Is it your group?
It's us.
Okay.
This is the review assignments and grading.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My name's Elena. My name's Morgan.
My name's Lupita.
My name's Trevin.
My name's Morgan.
All right, so we'll start with the overview of major assignments. You'll have 3 major presentations, and with them are all outlines, multiple. We'll have 1 audience analysis and random quizzes, along with the other minor assignments of the term. Late work and timeliness, basically don't be late and be on time with all of your work.
March 30th is the last day to withdraw. And then for the requesting your instructor to regrade assignments, there needs to be a thorough written message that includes a formal greeting, the date, what the assignment was, the due date of the assignment, when you turned in the assignment, and then the specific area that you want to be reviewed from the rubric, and then your name, class name, time, day. Oh, do you know what
All right, Lego creation. It started as a spaceship, and then we all just started adding 3 pieces at a time. That's what we came out with. And it had to be symmetric too, otherwise we'd all lose our minds.
I'm gonna get a little closer so I can see it.
Okay.
When we take it apart, it's so disappointing. Okay. Thank you, group. Let's move on to our next section.
I'm Triana,
I'm Margot.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Dorothy.
I'm Jake.
and our group was to do scholarly research and references. Demonstrate skills to find quality sources outside of general knowledge. Do not demonstrate reference abilities. Plagiarism, that's a no-go. It will result in penalties, zeros, and possible disciplinary actions. And you cannot be your own scholarly reference.
If you're using a topic from a previous assignment, it must be less than 15% similar, and you can't, double dip for homework.
For quotes, you should avoid using quotes. Using more than 20 quoted words will result in substantial penalties, 5 points per 20 words. So don't overuse quotes.
For quizzes, we have 3 quiz attempts, delayed wait in between each, and the average of all attempts will be your final grade.
And then quizzes are online, and if you miss them, you get a 0.
And you get about a week to take your quizzes, so that's not an issue unless you completely blow it off.
Our Lego creation is titled Art, period. It's an abstract work of art. We all kind of assembled a little piece and then just kind of saw how they fit together, and that is what we came up with. If we pick it up, it will literally explode, so.
Thank you. All right, thank you, group. All right, let's go ahead and let's move to our last portion.
My name's Isaiah.
I'm Maddie.
I'm Gina.
I'm Christina. Are you sure that, share this first?
Please.
Okay, we did learning environment and conduct, so basically we talked about homework, plan 6 to 8 hours of weekly homework, review the calendar, come to class, participate, be prepared, and create a successful learning environment. Basically, we're taking a lot of time and money and whatever to be here, so don't act how you're not supposed to act. Not every day is perfect, but always make an effort and build a positive learning community for your peers. And support of each other is a key component to this class.
So be respectful of the limited time we have in class. Class time is for learning the concepts, avoid off-topic interruptions, and that hinders the class progress through material.
If you fall behind in class, expect additional homework. If you need additional help, there are speech tutors or the writing center. And don't talk about drugs or alcohol.
You're warned.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got the intro to this. Okay, you ready? So it looks like a lot's going on, but let me explain. So you see this little black piece? This is us. And these are all the obstacles we have to go through to graduate. And this is the door. And then once you get through the door, you're the wheel so you can take off.
I love it. Everybody gets a round of applause.